How you going, you big bloody beautiful bastards? Here's me face. I'd like to highlight stories of people and legends, victims and heroes from the Bondi Beach massacre that happened in Sydney on Sunday, December 14. It happens to me a few times a year where I make serious videos. I don't know, don't get cranky at me. I get derailed mentally and struggle to stick to comedy. And I'm good at compiling video footage, whether it's for comedy commentaries or serious topics. Some days I do think I'm a glorified video editor or digital librarian. So much footage from the shooting has continuously come out. So many stories are being discovered. Apologies from the outset if I miss any. I'm sure more stories will be uncovered after I record and publish this. And yeah, there's a lot of complex and sensitive issues to discuss around these stories and this tragedy. I'm not oblivious to that. My overarching opinion is that there needs to be a genuine effort to have these discussions without broad discrimination, further hate, racism, and anger. We shouldn't fear talking about the killers, their access to weapons, the 6 guns they got, the Israel-Palestine war, Islamic terrorism, our government, our laws, our security agency, ASIO. These are all valid, tough as fuck discussions to be having right now if you want to have them, and into the future. And yeah, hopefully without too much deflecting, constant whataboutisms, broad discrimination, hate, racism, and anger. If we can all please curb those entrenched, dodgy habits from the conversations, fucking wouldn't that be sweet? Humanity solved. But yeah, today, however, I've got me blinkers on and it's about victims and legends, their actions. That's the focus. Most of the deceased victims are Jewish Australians who were celebrating at Hanukkah by the sea. Other victims and legends have a broad spectrum of heritage. So first up, Boris and Sophia. The footage of these heroes took a few days to come out. It was caught on someone's dash cam, so I suppose that's the only way citizens found out about their actions to the extent we have, is because someone checked and downloaded and sent out their dash cam footage. You can see Boris in the purple shirt wrestles with the older killer. Seeing people walk around with rifles and shotguns is unusual in Australia, plus the Islamic State flag being put on display in the windscreen. It must have made them go, hang on a second, and stop and question what was happening, and they took action so fast. Boris got him to the ground. Sophia is in there too, and yeah, the car goes past pretty fast as well, so they go out of frame. The next time we see Boris and Sophia is in the drone footage that someone shot, where Sophia has her arm over him, and yeah, they appear lifeless. I do believe that rattling the killers, rattling their confidence from the outset and delaying them and slowing them down absolutely saved lives. It alerted multiple groups of people in the area, especially near the bus stop. You see a bit of that on the dash cam. Yeah, and people just become aware of what's happening if they saw it. And it probably resulted in police receiving calls fast and early in this terrorist attack. My thoughts are with Boris and Sophia. I don't pray. I don't pray to an entity that's never presented itself. So just thoughts from Ozzy Man with Boris and Sophia. And gratitude. Yeah, no thoughts and prayers. And gratitude, definitely grief. Matilda is the name of the 10-year-old girl that was shot and killed. I cannot imagine losing your child this way. It was just 3 years ago in December that I was on Bondi Beach with my wife and my child. I live in Perth, the other side of the country, the West Coast. But I'm a fanboy of Bondi. Visiting there is such good fun, and I've just got good memories going there as a family, with my family. To think about being on that beach in Sydney and losing your child because an absolute brainwashed, unhinged monster of a fuckwit human looks down the scope of a rifle and squeezes the trigger is beyond disbelief. The footage of her parents talking is borderline unwatchable and simultaneously essential viewing.
And I couldn't imagine I will lose my daughter here. It's just a nightmare.
We came here from Ukraine, and Matilda was my first one in Australia, and I thought that Matilda is the most Australian name that can ever exist.
The dad's reference there to wanting to give his daughter an Aussie name, Matilda, is because of the song Waltzing Matilda. It's a bush ballad song written by Australian poet Banjo Patterson in the late 1800s. His face is on our $10 note, which means we see a picture of him pretty much daily in life down here. Nothing says you're more willing to peacefully integrate into a society you're migrating to than naming your child after the work of a famous poet in that society. My thoughts are with Matilda constantly. Another fella called Boris was shot and killed. His son Yakov is alive, but amongst the 40-odd people injured in hospital and recovering. They were both attending the Hanukkah celebrations. There's a little bit of information out there from his own social posts, I think, that media has found. Looks like he enjoyed Aussie bushwalks and the wildlife in this country. His niece has set up a GoFundMe to support her now widowed auntie, his wife, as Boris was the primary provider for the family. I'm going to put all the most verified GoFundMe links I know about for each family in the post description of this video over on YouTube. It's the best platform to put links in. If you're watching on YouTube now, in the post description. If you're watching on another platform, head over there. And yeah, the GoFundMe pages associated with families and victims will be in the post description. Help them out if you're in a position to do so. If not, no worries. I just want to make sure they're not left to deal with Centrelink. That's fucked. I wouldn't put that on anybody. They'll get $100. It'll buy 3 groceries from the supermarket. Dear. Edith was shot and killed. She was attending Hanukkah by the Sea and was a vice president on a New South Wales anti-prejudice and anti-discrimination committee. Those close to her have described her as passionate, devoted, and clever. My thoughts are with Edith. Marika was shot and killed. She was an avid member of a volunteer service for Jewish seniors. She won a Jewish Communal Mensch Award for delivering over 12,000, not 2,000, delivering over 12,000 kosher meals on wheels since the late 1990s. That's a huge amount of people to have helped out in her lifetime. Most likely the meals that were hand-delivered went to elderly, homebound people, disabled people, or those facing family crisis or financial hardship. Legendary work. My thoughts are with Marika. Dan had been living in Australia for a few years. He has been shot and killed. Originally from France, he was doing work here as an IT analyst for NBC Universal. Mates at his football club have called him a star player, down to earth, happy-go-lucky, and they say that he loved the Australian way of life. My thoughts are with Dan, and only being 27 years old, he seems like a fair dinkum, excellent citizen we could have poached from France. Eli was shot and killed. He was a rabbi in the Jewish community and a father of 5. Those close to him have said the message he would want everyone in the community to know is that we cannot allow hate to continue without light, and we must ask everyone to do something in a positive way. He also worked as a chaplain for corrective services in New South Wales, which I'd imagine is no walk in the park. That's quite an intense job that requires a lot of compassion. The commissioner has said Eli was just a lover of humanity and peace for the world. My thoughts with Eli. Peter Marzo, nicknamed Marzo, has passed away after being shot and killed. He was a retired police detective and rugby union player at Randwick Rugby Club. He was working at Hanukkah by the Sea as a freelance photographer. That was his passion after retiring as a cop. A friend of his for 30 years has said Peter not only served our country upholding our safety and laws, he actively gave back to society through his love of sport and giving tirelessly. My thoughts are with Peter. Alex, shot and killed at 87 years old, a native Ukrainian and Holocaust survivor. The Holocaust was an industrial genocide led by Adolf Hitler towards European Jews killing millions of them. It became World War II in the 1940s. We need to bluntly remind ourselves of that, I think, every decade at this point, because we are sadly in an era where we're losing elderly Holocaust survivors, the last of them, veterans and people who lived through World War II. It's worth reflecting on because sharing their first-hand experiences from that era, I think, is insanely important in terms of trying to stop history repeating itself. I'm dead set sure he was an incredibly wise person. 2 children, 11 grandkids. He died shielding his wife Larissa and protecting her from bullets. Absolutely on my mind. Absolutely on my mind that, yeah, he survived Hitler but died on one of Australia's most beautiful beaches at the hands of batshit crazy, brainwashed, pathetic extremists. My thoughts are with Alex. This fair dinkum big unit of a bloke throwing a bottle or a brick at the older killer was unfortunately shot and died. His name is Reven. I feel related to him. even though my heritage testing kit says I'm Scandinavian, French, English, Scottish, but I was born in Papua New Guinea, I feel related isn't the right word. Inspired and want to be like him is accurate because of his sheer fearlessness. I feel like this is him in the background of this camera angle. If I'm wrong, apologies, but there's just a come at me bro vibe with this bloke that matches the fearlessness of throwing a brick at the older killer. There has been an interview with Reven's daughter.
He was screaming at the terrorist and protecting his community. He was shot dead. If there was one way for him to go on this earth, it would be fighting a terrorist.
He migrated from the Soviet Union or former Soviet Union and apparently discovered his Jewish identity whilst living in Australia. People have described him as too big for this world, charitable, sense of humour, the whole package. My thoughts are with Reven daily. Yeah, and his brick throwing moment, that came just after Ahmed al-Ahmed, also known as Legend al-Legend, disarmed the older killer. I saw that Legend al-Legend nickname in a comment on Reddit. It made me chuckle. It can feel inappropriate to laugh through the tears at the moment, but I don't know. The comment cheered me up. Here it is. I'll put it on the screen. This Redditor said, "Bro, he actually was a bit of a shit terrorist, really. Old mate gets ambushed by Australia's most badass couple, tackled and disarmed by Legend al-Legend. His pants fall down, gets a bottle or brick to the face thanks to another Aussie hero, crawls back to his pathetic son before getting domed by a copper. Then to cap it off, our resident tattooed topless True Blue delivers a head stomp heard through time. Our people went down swinging. That's Australian as fuck." Thank you to the Redditor for giving me that laugh whilst I've been stuck in an algorithmic rabbit hole across all social media platforms, like many of us probably have. One of the blokes that did a head stomp on a shot down killer on the bridge was hilarious in his self-awareness. There was some chaos there as both killers ended up shot down.
People were just stomping on his head. I got a pretty good dog shot on his head as well, but I feel like it was pretty well deserved considering the circumstances.
The self-awareness calling his kick a dog shot.
It was a bit of a dog shot, but I don't regret it at all. He deserved every bit of it.
I'm just relieved, though, that mob justice didn't kill the first bloke that went on the bridge, because I think you see that in the footage. He goes up there, there's a shot fired at him, but his body language is really signalling he wants to help. He's innocent, he wants to help, and then he almost gets bashed up and arrested. But thankfully, he does come out okay, I believe. I hope so, sir. You are a legend.
Me and one of the police officers actually thought the first guy that went up there was the third shooter, so we'd gone to tackle that guy and try to put him on the floor, and he's going, "No, I'm not a shooter, I'm just helping, like I've just taken the gun off him." So then we let him go, and then more people kind of piled on the actual shooters that were on the floor.
Was that just chaos?
Mate, if the police weren't there, they were torn to shreds.
Yeah, Ahmed al-Ahmed is a hero that has thankfully survived after taking 2 bullets. He's a big unit of a bloke as well, and the footage of him wrestling that gun off the killer, the older killer, was instantly incredible to see. It was something to latch onto immediately. He refrained from becoming a killer himself by putting the gun down, or he didn't want to muddy the waters for police in regard to who the threat was. So he's a clever bloke. And I think we should wait to let him talk about his actions and his identity in person when he's ready. There's been so much information out there hijacking who he is. You can't say it's not agenda-driven. We know his name. We know he's 43. We know he owns a shop. We know he migrated from Syria via the interviews with his parents and cousin, and that he does have faith with that quick video where he's in the hospital bed. I get why people want it known that he's Muslim from a Muslim region of the world. I say Muslim region because if there's one thing Persian friends in Australia have told me at drinking parties, it's that most of them identify as Iranians, not Muslim or Islamic. That's due to the country being run by an Islamic republic with a supreme leader since 1979. It's good to preempt broad discrimination and hate towards Islam and Muslims. No worries at that at all. Ahmed is a symbol for that. I would still wish that it's okay to talk about Islamic radicalization and terrorist extremism sprouting from this religion, and do it without deflection, whataboutisms, and fear.
But when you just say, oh, he doesn't represent us, he's not one of us, that doesn't really represent us, no one really believes that anymore. It's time for us to say, actually, unfortunately, these people do represent us, and we need to have some serious internal dialogue, some serious internal policing to prevent these types of things. Those two cowards who did that act in Australia, they have family members, they have neighbors, they have community members. You're telling me that they drifted into the abyss of extremism and no one around them noticed anything or felt anything was off or noticed any weird behaviors like joining a pew pew club and becoming an expert all of a sudden?
He was in mode, this bloke. Like he was, like as close enough to me, he was angry Rizzo. So
You could see it on his face,
you could.
in his eyes.
There's so much fear in talking about it. It's hard to do that. Like, as a comedy bloke, I'm acutely aware that if you satirize or mock figures in Islam, you risk having your office shot up, or even if you're a teacher in France and reshare caricatures or mockery that you didn't even create, you risk getting gruesomely beheaded. That was in 2020. It's almost like a normalized fear in the world. I wish there wasn't so much fear around analyzing and critiquing a religion, but here we are. Look, that's all I'm saying. I didn't want to do this. Just let legend, our legend, talk about his faith on his own, in time, in public, if he wants to. His actions 100% speak for themselves. Brave, fearless, bloody legendary.
Save the people. I do it from the heart. It was a nice day. Everyone enjoying, celebrating with the kids, woman, man, teenager, all this. Everyone was happy, and they deserve to enjoy, and it's them right. This country, best country in the world, the best country in the world. But we're not gonna stand and keep watching. Enough, it's enough. God protect Israel. Ozzy.
Yakov is a rabbi. He was shot and killed. Family and friends have said he was the biggest do-gooder, helper, and if you needed anything done, you could go to him. He was always a bright light and never cowered. My thoughts are with Yakov. Tibbor, hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Tibbor was shot and killed. He was with his grandson-in-law, who has said, when more and more first responders arrived, I went over to look for Tibbor. It was the most horrific sight any family member could ever see. I have not been able to close my eyes ever since. It's something I won't ever be able to forget. Tibbor migrated to Australia in the 1980s from Israel and the former Soviet Union. He did the job of being lolly man at sermons a lot, apparently. That means giving the kids lollies to help them keep quiet during the sermon. I do a similar thing when I take my 7-year-old kid to the cinema. Just chuck them all the candy. They'll get through the whole 90 minutes. My thoughts are with Tibbor.
Can you tell us about your grandfather, what sort of a person he was?
He was amazing, honestly, just such joy. And we were just yesterday with him. He saw her swim in the pool, and
just, yeah, we had coffee at Bondi Junction with him yesterday, and just, I didn't know this was going to be, you know, the last day. It was just devastating.
Adam, father of 4, was shot and killed. He was walking with his wife on Bondi Beach. Family has said he loved the English Premier League and Liverpool Football Club. He loved the AFL team, Sydney Swans, the NRL Sea Eagles. He was a generous and kind person and forever irreplaceable. My thoughts are with Adam. There is another unidentified person that passed away, apparently. I'm sure final information will still come out. I've been thinking about this person, though, that was behind Ahmed. I wonder if maybe it's them, I'm not sure. They were right behind him to help out, and then you see on another angle, it looks like they're crawling away. Yeah, I've had this person on my mind a lot, and wondered if they were wounded when they're crawling away or have passed away. Jack Hibbert, a 22-year-old probationary police officer, was shot twice, once in the shoulder and in the head. He has lost vision in one eye and faces a long recovery time. For anyone criticising the cops, I'd say this young fella went well and truly above his pay grade. When I was 22, I was working in a bottle shop and barely motivated to stock the fridges properly. This legend ran towards gunfire to stop it. My thoughts are with Jack and all first responders, all the names I don't know. Constable Scott Dyson, also in hospital for serious but stable injuries and multiple gunshot wounds. Thoughts are with you. Thoughts are with Detective Senior Constable Caesar says Baraza. Says he is in a lot of footage that people filmed on their phones. He's in the plain clothes. You see him trying to get multiple vantage points. He's going up against high-powered rifles with his standard issue police pistol.
Is that the guy? Is that the shooter? Yeah. He's just there chilling. Not going too close now.
I don't know much about marksmanship outside of video games and visiting Belmont gun range once. I'm not a gun guy, but I'd say his marksmanship is elite and heroic. He's been on the New South Wales Police Force for 16 years.
And then there's Cess, who's never doubted what he wants to do.
My name is Cess Baraza. I'm 26 and I want to be a police officer because I hate crime.
He hates crime. He also helped bring some order on the bridge afterwards. I'd say most people that went up on the bridge had a genuine intent to help out. And yeah, thinking of everyone on that bridge as well. The Bondi Lifeguards, I'm thinking of Lucas Street, who used his beach buggy as a place to take cover. There's Rory, who did a water rescue during the shooting. Imagine if we had victims that drowned out of panic during a terrorist attack. Yeah, it's not good to imagine. The fact he had eyes on the ocean is unreal. Jacko, who sprinted for 2 kilometres barefoot from a nearby beach with a medical kit and a defibrillator. The painting there is my desktop wallpaper now. That is a widely circulated photo. Ben Davies, Trent, all the lifeguards that were essentially first responders, as well as using their surfboards as shields for children, performing CPR, bandaging up wounded people. They were in a war zone all of a sudden, and they took their job description as lifeguard as seriously as you can take that job description. I'm grateful for the work of journalists, even if I cracked the shits at Channel 9 for cutting off Ben when he wanted to mention a list of heroes.
Can I just, before we go, I'd love to list the lifeguards who are...
but we don't have time for that, I'm really sorry. But no, thank you so much for coming on.
That list is Michael, Troy, Mario, Rory, Jackson, Daniel, Trent, another Trent nicknamed Singlets, Frankie, Eddie, Lindsay, Wally, and Tommy. My thoughts are with all you absolute legends, and you're going to be doing a lot of selfies in your blue shirts at Bondi Pavilion, at the beach pavilion with people, and on your buggies. You'll be doing selfies. I'm coming back one day for a selfie. Cottesloe and Scarborough have nothing on Bondi. Yeah, I said that from the West Coast. I said that. My thoughts are with women using themselves as shields to protect kids as well. There's quite a few of those stories, and the interviews are heart-wrenching.
It's impossible. I was holding somebody's child because he was screaming. I was saving this child.
I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. We're going to stay here and we're going to be nice and safe. Can you hide? Yeah, we can hide, baby girl.
Jessica Rosen is one name that's come up. Jessica Khan, Shavi Block.
I did what moms do. I saw a little girl and she needed help. And I tried to do what I could.
I'm losing composure. Everyone in nearby restaurants, houses, businesses that sheltered scared citizens at the drop of a hat. I'm thinking of you. We're hermits over here in Perth, but we're all thinking about all the victims, heroes and legends on the East Coast in Sydney right now. My sincere apologies if I've missed someone really obvious to pay tribute to. Just let me know calmly, please. Despite the mental health toll of doing this for 11 years, I've never turned off comments, direct messages, or my email inbox. So yeah, let me know. I can alter post descriptions and pin comments on different platforms for visibility. I'm going to leave you big bloody beautiful bastards with a video of a song that makes my misso and I tear up every time it gets sung at our kids' school assembly. Thank you to this young fella, this legend, for having the courage to publicly sing it in front of so many sorrowful people and to genuinely help everyone get through personal and collective grief. Here it is. Cheers.
And sing with one voice, I am, you are, we are Australia. I came from the dream time, from the dusty red soil plains. I am the ancient heart, the keeper of the flame. I stood upon a rocky shore, I watched the tall ships come. For 65,000 years I've been first Australian. I came upon the prison ships, bound down by iron chains. I bought the land, endured the lash, and waited for the rain. I'm a farmer's wife on a dry and barren run, a convict, then a free man. I became Australian. I'm a daughter of a digger who sought the mountain long. The girl became a woman on a long and dusty road. I'm a child of the Depression. I saw the good times come. I'm a bushy, I'm a battler. I am Australian. We are one, but we are many, and from all the lands on earth we come. We share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australian.
I don't know. It's I don't know, we don't realise how lucky we got it, mate. This is as good as it gets. Don't stuff it up, you know. Cheers, mate.